have an idea for everybody with hats. For everybody with hats, just take them off and just hold them like this. Hold them walking.
When you say cutbacks, we say
fight back.
When you say cutbacks, we say
Fight back.
Cutback.
Fight back.
Cutback.
Fight back.
Fellow students, friends and peers, we are gathered here today to eulogize our free education. 165 years, 67, sorry, the Free Academy of the City College of New York engaged in an improbable experiment to access a free education for the sons and the daughters of their lower and middle class of that time.
God bless it.
This was a time when we were about to go into an engageful and bloody civil war, where some folks had no other form of studying. The price of education was only set up for the very wealthy. But today it saddens me to say that our free education is dead and we're back in the same proposition that we were almost 165 years ago. 67, sorry. I cut out those 2 years because now we have a rational tuition hike. And I called that the 300 blows that killed our higher education.
Who in this school works? Who has to work to pay their education? I do. You do? I have to work too. They tell us that we go to school. School, you take 15 credits, 3 hours to every credit that you take. That's 60 hours a week. That's more than a full-time job. And on top of it, we have to work? For what? You work a minimum wage job full-time while you're in school. You are left with $300 a month to pay rent, to feed your children, to take care of your family, to take care of yourself, to buy books. What the hell is that? Bullshit. What the hell is that? That's right. So, today we stand before you to talk about the hole that this system is putting us in. The debt from our tuition is putting us in a hole that we cannot climb out of. After you graduate, that debt does not graduate with you. It stays with you. Every increase is like the dirt they throw on top of us to seal our fate underground. It's killing us.
For me personally, I have $10,500 in student loans. Why do I have this much money in student loans? When I first got accepted into City College, I was excited to have affordable tuition. I was working 60 hours a week to pay for my dream of living in Manhattan and going to school. When I heard about the tuition increases, look up NY SUNY 2020, I realized that my dream was no longer affordable for me, that I couldn't go on going to school part-time, working full-time, and getting good grades. It just wasn't possible. So I started taking out a Stafford loan. Why is it that students cannot pay for their educations, that they have to take out loans and be indebted for the rest of their lives? 1 in 5 households have student debt.
What was that, Alyssa? How many?
1 in 5.
1 in 5, guys. 1 in 5.
Oh. When I get out of school and I want employment, 53% of undergraduate degree students are either underemployed or unemployed. This is unacceptable.
I want to tell you guys that on August 3rd, 2011, the Board of Trustees voted within only 15 minutes that we, the students, have to pay $300 every year for the next 5 years. could they do this to us? They don't know our struggle. They don't know that we have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to pay for our education that once was free. It was free. It could be free once again if we all unite together.
I'm a freshman at this college, and I'm honored to have made it here. And I'm grateful for all the opportunities that I had when I was in high school. However, not all of my peers were that lucky. I went to school in the Bronx, not to Bronx Science, but to Roosevelt campus. I watched for 4 years as an extreme lack of resources and prison-like conditions robbed my friends and I of the education that we have a human right to. At first I thought it was just the Department of Education with their racist and profit-driven agenda. But then I started talking to people who go to CUNY, and I realized that the Board of Trustees is playing the same game.
Hallelujah.
The number of black and brown students in CUNY is dropping every year. CUNY claims that this is because of rising standards. But when Baruch College was fixing students' grades to make sure that they could have Wall Street jobs, what standards were they using? This is our lives that they're affecting.
I cried the whole time.
When I got my student loan bill this morning, I cried. It's $2. I'm so glad I'm